Hi again, James Walter Apitan here, and in this video I'm going to present the results of experiment 3 variables. The objectives of this experiment is to become familiar with the concept of storing and working with different data types in Python, experimenting with Python code, becoming familiar with the concept of and working with variables, performing basic computations and conversions. So, let's start. For the first part, we have a story here. Once upon a time, in Appleland, John had 3 apples, Mary had 5 apples, and Adam had 6 apples. They were all very happy and lived for a long time. End of story. And based on this story, we have a task to create variables John, Mary, and Adam, assign values to the variables. The values must be equal to the numbers of fruit possessed by John, Mary, and Adam respectively, as I have typed right here. Next is to, having stored the numbers in the variables, print the variables on one line, and separate each of them with a comma. As stated in the task, print John, Mary, Adam, and separate them with a comma. In here, I use the separation or the sep argument as to replace the spaces with comma. So, let's try it out. Copy and paste it at the Windows editor of Python and run. And as you can see, the space has been replaced by the comma as stated by the sep argument. Next, create a new variable named total apples equal to the addition of the 3 former variables. So we have the variable total apples is equal to John plus Mary plus Adam, and we have to print total apples to be displayed at the Python rather. So create space here like so and run. As you can see, 3 plus 5 plus 6 is equal to 14. Next is to experiment with the code. Create new variables, assign different values to them, so on and so forth. And as you can see here, I have created a str, or to what we called it. Well, I forgot, but I'm still familiarizing with these types of code. So with this str function, it replaces the integers or the numbers to strings. So with the addition operation, it will be converted to a sign that combines this string to another string that made by the str function. So let's copy this, paste it here, and as you can see, the 14 here is displayed here as because of the total apples as the variable name. And this string here, total number of apples, is combined with this variable name because of the addition operation, and the string because of the str function. Next would be to convert miles to kilometers and kilometers to miles, with the conversion factor here as 1 mile is equal to the approximately 1.61 kilometers. So we have our code here, as I have put it here. So before we test it out, we need to convert miles to kilometers and kilometers to miles. Well, we have the given variable kilometers is equal to 12.25 and miles is equal to 7.38. As I have inputted it here, miles to kilometers is equal to miles asterisk sign is the operation of multiplication in Python. We have 1.61 over 1, or we could just simply miles times 1.61. I have inputted it with over 1 as I have constructed it as fast as I could. And in kilometers to miles, we have kilometers times 1 over 1.61. We could also use kilometers over or divided by 1.61. So, let's try out this code. We have to have this expected code here, 11.88 kilometers, supposed to be displayed with this code here, and 7.61 miles should be displayed here. So let's see if this is true. And the displayed result is the same as the expected output. We could also use the reverse engineering, as we call it, because we have our answer. So we use that answer to create a to go back to the equation or the problem. This is usually used at the maze game or maze puzzle, where instead of using the entrance to predict the exit, we use the exit to go back to the entrance so that we could faster should be the term, or we could finish the puzzle quickly. So let's try that out using reverse engineering. Let's try putting in 11.88 here, and here should be 7.61. I'm correct. Then run the code. And as you can see, it is the same as here. Now for the conclusion, Python identifies variables that has the same name even with how many variables there is, as long as a variable has a unique name used, as here, like here, kilometers and miles, so on and so forth. Python will identify that variable throughout the coding process. And for the round function, it rounds off the result to the nearest number it is inputted as. Like here, we have the rounded off to the second decimal point, as you can see here. But if we change it to like 3 here and 3 here, we will see that it will be rounded off to the nearest 3 decimal place, like so. Wait, it's quite different. Ah, I have a mistake here. That is because I inputted here the answer itself. But what if I inputted this instead like this, and like so. There. So let's try to run it again using the third decimal place. And as you can see, it's now in the third, rounded off to the third decimal place. Now for the recommendation. It is recommended that naming a variable needs an easy to recognize and in a unique way possible to avoid any overlap in the values, and in using the round function, it is seen to use a number to determine how many the result will be rounded to. Well, that's all for this video. I am James Walter Apitang. Thank you for watching.